have a witchy haul for you. All kinds of fun stuff, from jewelry to gemstones to statuary, so a little bit of everything. First of all, if you're new to subscribe, check out our spooky playlists. We do lots of witchy stuff like this, and we do spooky things. I'm Morticia. Gomez is manning the camera because he's a man. And this is our roommate Slappy, also a man, hanging out. He's still got my wand pendant. I don't know. He's not trying to give it back. That was a different witchy haul, but he's wearing it and he looks so pretty. Okay, let's start with this ring. It was one of the things I got Gomez for Christmas. A lot of our hauls have been Christmas. It's just I wanted to show them as they were and not say like Christmas hauls. So because there's so many different things that we've scattered it through several hauls. But I got Gomez this. The point of that is I wanted one, so I had to get one, and we'll get into that in a second. But this is a pewter rune ring. It has all the runes on it. It's from Asgard of Scotland, so it came all the way from Scotland, and it came off Amazon. It was $17, including free shipping, so that's awesome. And it says that it sizes 9 through 12, but I couldn't make it do it comfortably, and I was scared it would mess up the ring. Gomez wears an 11 on his first finger, so that's where this had to go. He wears a 9 through 11, obviously, like, well, maybe that's not obvious. Okay, he wears a 9 through 11 on his various third, second, and first fingers. So I thought, well, if it sizes 9 through 12, it was going to fit enough different fingers he can pick and choose. But I kept sizing it down, and it went to an 11. And see, when you size it, okay, first we're going to skip and show you mine. I don't wear a 9 through 11. I wear like a 6 at the largest, so I just got one to wear as a pendant. And this is how it looks when it hasn't been sized at all, versus how it looks when it has. It just kind of folds around a little like this. The points kind of like curve in more. And this is how, again, the comparison of the backs when it's not sized yet. I really loved the energy of this, and there were other rune rings out there, including Alchemy Gothic, who I get a lot of jewelry from. We both do. So we've done a lot of those hauls, but I just liked the energy of his, and I thought, what if I buy one that I can actually wear on my hand, and I don't like the energy or don't care as much, and so I just got this one as a pendant. So that's how it looks as a pendant. I just have it on a chain like this, and I'm wearing it with my other stuff. So that's the deal. I've got it layered with a gargoyle bell that came from another witchy haul, my Grindelwald from a Harry Potter haul, my little witch hat choker, a bunch of stuff. So it looks good. I love it. And it's a nice wide band. I would say it's like over 1/2 inch wide. So nice solid. Gomez, how do you feel wearing it as a ring? Is it comfortable?
Yes, it sits nicely.
Good. And he's the prince and the pea with rings. It's like he's got to have it perfectly comfortable. So it's like if he says it's comfortable, it's good. I will say the downside was it was very difficult to size the ring. It was like, it took a lot of muscle, and I'm not very muscular, so I don't like the sizable bands that are really flimsy that you can size by barely touching it, and then you put it on and it doesn't really stay sized. And then this one is like the opposite extreme, where it really takes a lot of muscle and it keeps its size, but then there are the size adjustable bands that are in the middle that keep their size well, but they're still relatively easy to size, and those are my favorite, like, you know, Goldilocks. It's got to be in the middle. But I guess I would rather have it difficult to size than like too easy and then it doesn't keep its size. So I will say for this ring, I would prefer this way than the opposite extreme. And it's silver with like black. You can get it in I think just silver too, but they have black where you can see the runes better, where they're etched in black. And they say not to wear it in water because they know their black is going to come off, but we're going to wear it in water, so it's going to come off. But the runes aren't painted. They're heavily like etched into this metal. They're raised up. You can feel them really well, so you can see them well. There's a bunch of different runes on here, and Gomez works with those more, so he can talk about that.
This is the Elder Furthark, known as the alphabet of the Vikings. You might have seen it originally in Lord of the Rings, where it was featured, and in recent times it was in the TV show The Originals, and they used them accurately. Some of the runes here are Raido, that facilitates communication, Fihu, that's good for motivation, and Bjork for creativity. So the runes are fun to work with.
Yeah, there's lots of good meaning in the piece to wear, so that's cool. And the company, Asgard of Scotland, says that they make kind of like replicas, so this is like what they could have worn back then, which is extra cool when you love history like we do. So yay for Norse stuff and runes and ancient writing. Gotta love it. This was their lettering back way back. So very cool. One of the first alphabets that is still preserved, right, Gomez?
Yes.
So that's neat. Next, let's move to some gemstones that we got as another Christmas, or maybe it was on my birthday, from our friend Karen, from a shop on Etsy called I Love Lotus, I think it is, and we will link it below. So I love this. It's an aventurine rabbit. Aventurine is a green stone that looks similar to jadeite jade, which is a gemstone form of jade where nephrite is more affordable. It's also jade, but jadeite is more translucent. You can see into it, and it is like a lot more expensive. But this is aventurine. It's a form of green quartz, and it looks a lot like jadeite jade, just to compare it, but it's said to be the stone of joy. And before I knew that, I always just, like, whenever I would wear aventurine or hold it, I would just feel really bouncy and kind of like in the mood to go out and do something. So when I saw them call it the stone of joy in the properties online, when I was looking up different stones, I was like, you know, that makes sense. I tend to play with a stone first or wear it and just note how I feel before I look up what it's supposed to do, what its medicine is. I should do a video on that, how I first got into stones, because if you're thinking, I don't know if that's real, I don't believe in it, I didn't even know about it when I first experienced something from wearing a stone that was not very pleasant, because I didn't need that type of medicine. But I think I should do that as a different video. What do you think, Gomez? Should I talk about it?
I would like
amethyst,
that.
yeah. So it's kind of cool for like unbelievers, because I'm a very skeptical person, like I have been proven wrong on a few things, like the ghost hunting app that is not cool, that I thought was not even real or would work. So we have that. We'll link it in the playlist below. If I forget to do that, look up our ghost app review series we did. But he's a really cool rabbit. He's realistic. He looks realistic, and he just looks so alive, and I love him. I'm deciding if I'll keep him and hold him and carry him, or turn him into a ginormous, beautiful pendant. I haven't decided yet. And then here is a little cute curled up sodalite cat. I'm going to try to have him on my palm. If we can show him. He is small. My friend Karen, our friend Karen, no, she's all mine, who gave compared him to my smog bead that I made a choker of from Lord of the Rings, Smaug. And she's really good with sizes, because he is really like close to smog size. It's just cool that she can look at it on the camera and do that with sizes. I love it. But it's a cute curled up cat. He is from sodalite, the stone, sodalite, and like have a soda. But sodalite, and it's a blue stone. It's very calming. It feels very peaceful and tranquil and chill when you wear it or hold it, and it helps with communication in the sense that I can say something to you, and then I can say something to Gomez, and I could say the same words, but he might understand it or receive it better, where you might need different words to understand and receive what I'm saying. So the stone is supposed to guide you to whoever you're talking to, that you say it in a way they understand, where you're like saying it to them, you know, in a way that they hear it best. And so a lot of blue stones work with the throat and talking and communication, but specifically sodalite does it in a way that you are saying it to that person the way they need to hear it. And I love the calming, tranquil feeling you get from sodalite, so that's really cool too. Now this is the statue we got. We're saving the voodoo stuff till last, yes. But this is the statue. It's Brahma. He is the god of creation in the Hindi like pantheon, and he is pretty cool because he's got 4 heads and he makes stuff. So I never thought until recently about how important creation is. We're more into the spooky dark side, so you know, a lot of people want to pin destruction on darkness, but that's not necessarily true. Anytime you have a new idea or make something, I make jewelry all the time, you're creating. So kind of makes me feel closer to Brahma to think, you know, you hear the creation myths of, you know, God or some gods, you know, wherever creating earth and the sky and the stars, and you know, you think, okay, well that's already been done. And that's some of the myths about Brahma, where he is not as cool for people because it's already been done, so he's just kind of like not having anything to do. But really, things are created every day. I'm creating a video right now, and so, you know, it's like he's always still doing stuff. And I think that's really important to think about, and something new that I have thought about, so I wanted to share it with you guys real quick, like, and it has been shared. I don't get all preachy. But this came from Amazon. I think it was $34. Is that right, Gomez?
Yes.
I read the reviews before I buy it, and they said it's in the description that it's poly resin, but some idiot reviewer left a 1 star because it's plastic. It is not plastic. It's like a resin statue. So I do say idiot reviewer because when people do that and they state an opinion that's wrong, they're leaving an incorrect review. And you can leave your opinion if you don't like the material or something wasn't described properly, but to say something is something that it's not and leave it a negative is not cool for me as a product reviewer or as a seller, because I do both. I have bought stuff that is not what it was supposed to be, and I have, you know, fairly and truthfully criticized it in a bad review. But, you know, I've seen people say things about things that are not true in a review that's just flat out wrong. Like, I saw a Noble Collections review criticizing the Slytherin charm bracelet and also calling it plastic, and it's one of my heaviest bracelets. It's heavy solid metal. So I'm like, why are you on? And you're leaving people bad reviews and it's not true. So brief soapbox, I am jumping off of it now back into this review. But this has velvet on the bottom, kind of like felty velvet, feels more velvety, and it keeps the statue from sliding. It has a good solid weight to it. I think the person criticizing it called it lightweight. A couple other people called it lightweight. I think the base here has a good solid weight. It's not too heavy, but I mean, I feel the heft here. Brahma is sitting in the middle of an open lotus. You know, I think a flower would be cushy to sit in. What do you think, Gomez?
I agree.
And it would smell good.
Yes.
And he's got his 4 heads, which I love the way it's done. It's not bulky. They're kind of all together, almost like a little crown for him when he's got his little crowns on. But he's got his little 4 heads, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, they're not sticking out with big long necks everywhere, you know, like some dragon or anything. So it doesn't look bulky or awkward for me, and his 4 arms don't look bulky or awkward for me either. And in each arm, he's holding something, and I will let Gomez talk about that.
So one of the hands is holding the lotus flower. It represents the process of creation itself, as well as the flower from which he was born. The other hand is holding mala beads, and they are representing the element of time. And then in his other hand he is holding the tablet of the 4 original Vedas, and his own consort, the goddess Saraswati of wisdom, is also associated with Vedas. So it's basically a hint at her as well as his wisdom. And then there is the Kundika pot, that's a water pot used in Hindu rituals.
And I love it because it looks like a little fat cauldron, and we love cauldrons. And cauldrons in Celtic mythology are also one of the symbols of creation.
Yes.
So it's like I love to see the pantheons kind of blend and cross over with the whole, you know, the points are still true no matter who's telling them or, you know, what deities represent them. It's really cool. So I think he looks great. He's sitting in his little like lotus position in the flower. And it's a good statue. It's not too big to be like okay, where am I going to put this? It's not too small that you don't notice it. For those of you into energies, I just love holding him. I feel great. He has a great energy. I think it's a very well-made statue. And it is resin, so I'm not going to hurl it against a wall if I'm having a bad day. Not that I tend to want to throw things when I have a bad day, but if you do, don't do that. I did see on Amazon also a brass statue that's smaller, so but I just felt like drawn to this one, even though I usually do prefer metal because it won't break, and I'm always saying that. But and the heads, by the way, are looking in all 4 directions. I like that too. So you got one to the front, one to the back, and one to both sides, and that is nice. So fast shipping. I did not like the packaging, but I don't think that's the seller's fault. It's the whoever makes the statue puts it in this packaging that it's like those foam things that hold the statue in place, but it goes everywhere. It's almost as bad as packing peanuts, and it's kind of made out of the same stuff. It just breaks off and flakes and makes a mess. But that's not a criticism of the company or the statue. But if you buy it, beware when you open it, because there will be a slight mess. I was really careful, so there was only a tiny bit, and that was cool. But I just always hate that packaging, so I had to say meow, meow, my angry, annoyed cat sound. Okay, now, speaking of cats, Alchemy Gothic, Black Cat Ring, Bustet, Witchy. I'm going to do an Alchemy Gothic Black Cat haul with some other items eventually that will just be a like jewelry haul, but because we're doing a Witchy haul, I had to throw this in. Cat head, it looks a lot like my choker of Bustet, which I reviewed last year in another Alchemy Gothic haul around this time of year. How sentimental. I love it. And she's got the red eyes, so we got the red and black going on. And I've seen a lot of overpriced black cat rings that's just the head from other companies, and it looks different than this one, but this is the best deal. This was like $17 online. and you pick your size. It's not size adjustable. So that is the deal with that, and I'm wearing it with this new ring that I designed with Uncle Fester. I had to show off. It's a pumpkin coach ring. I had a bronze band that's size adjustable that I bought, and this was a pumpkin coach charm, and I stuck it on the ring. Well, Uncle Fester did with soldering, because I hate gluing something on a ring. A lot of times if you see the rings on Etsy that are being sold for $10 to $15 with a teapot or something else on it, they just glue it onto the band, and if you wear jewelry like me, where you wear it frequently, it's going to eventually come off. So I'm like not going to buy a glued thing on the front of a ring. I'm going to get it soldered. So that's the deal, but that's just irrelevant. I had to share it because it was right beside the black cat, which I think of as Scorcher instead of Bastet, because I had a black cat named Scorcher who passed 1 year on Samhain when I was a child, and he's still kind of my spirit familiar. So most black cats are Scorcher for us. So yeah. Now, here we go. The voodoo stuff. The voodoo stuff. Oh yeah. Okay. We each got one, and I want to show you both designs because we didn't get to pick. We just ordered an alligator tooth necklace for each of us because they're for protection, and they kind of looked a little different, so I wanted to show you the two that we got. Yours will probably be even more different. They're all different, I guess. Comes on a cord with a knot, and there's around 24 inches. You just pull it on and off over your head, or you can tie it and make it shorter like I did. I'm kind of wearing mine choker style here with my Grindelwald, which I'll probably take it off in a second to show you because it'll be easier than having to stick the camera at my neck level. It will be awkward. Okay. I think the beads are some kind of clay or glass, but again, mine are different than Gomez's. His match the color of the alligator tooth more, which you like, right?
Yes.
And so that's cool. These were like $7 and some each from Marie Laveau's House of Voodoo. And we ordered them online, although if you go to New Orleans you can get them in person. The tooth looks hollow here at the top. His is kind of rough and a little chunkier. They're about 1 inch, and they have the beads on either side of the cord. And now I'm going to untie mine so that I can take it down, or at least extend it lower to show you, whichever turns out to be easier. But I did want to say while I'm doing that we did not kill these alligators. The teeth are supposed to be for protection, so it's kind of nice, and I do feel like they have a really nice energy. Yeah, I'm just going to take it down instead of taking it off. But I figure I'm just sending it good energy. I didn't kill it. I hope it didn't get killed for its teeth. I really do. I hope it died of natural causes, and if it didn't, not buying it isn't going to bring it back to life. So if anybody like says anything about that likes to do that, I can't bring it back to life, but I can respect its life, and use the teeth with good energy and in mind, and give it respect and love. So there we go. Mine is a little, I think, thinner front to back than Gomez's, although they're about the same length, and it has a little break here where his is a little bit more thick and rough and uniform at the top. So those are the differences in the actual teeth. Let me try to get my hand out of the way and still hold them steady like this. That's the back of each, and my beads are green, and they're a little bit better and different looking. Again, these ones kind of different, and let's turn them to the front. They're more similar, I think, in the front, except again his is rougher on top. So that's how that looks, and they were each $7, and then shipping was around $7. Now Amazon has alligator teeth for $14 each, but it's not free shipping, so it was still cheaper to get it from where we got them. Actually, maybe it was, I can't remember, but anyway, it was still cheaper to pay $7 each and then the $7 shipping, so it's all good. It was cheaper. So Marie Laveau's House of Voodoo, we hope you enjoyed all those things, and until next time,
Stay witchy, my friends.